son's facility here in Marietta, Georgia, where the business stores classic cars, markets classic cars, sources classic cars, and repairs classic cars.
Tell me about your passion. When have you started doing this? What was the first car you had? Probably you restored it by yourself.
I've been collecting cars my entire life. I was enamored with cars from a very young age. I'm what we call today, I was a fender rat. I hung over the fenders of cars and watched the big guys work on their cars when I was a very young kid. I'm talking 6, 7 years old. Later, I couldn't afford cars, even when I was a much younger teen. When the new cars would come out, I worked at a country club as a caddy, and as such, the new members of the country club would drive in their new cars, and I'd walk around the parking lots looking at them. When the new cars would come out at the auto show, I would be there every time. Later, as I became a little bit older and it was in high school, there was a car dealership next door to the school I was attending. And one of the things I would do after school is I'd go over and I'd run out and get them soft drinks and cigarettes and candy bars. And I got to walk through the service facility. So when the new cars came in, and they weren't allowed to be seen until the unveiling, I was actually seeing those cars long before anyone else. I was riding in those cars when they first came out. I can still remember the day that I rode in my first, very first race car, Shelby Cobra. And the first Cobra I rode in was a 289. And this was early on, and we raced it up and down the alley between my school that I was attending and the car dealership. Later, as I got older, I went off and went into the service, continued my education there, and then when I came out, I got a good job, and I started collecting cars. I've collected cars basically my entire life. I'm in my 70s now, and several years ago when my son opened this business, at that point in time I decided to thin my collection of cars down. So today I only have a handful, but it's still a major part of my life. When he opened this business, I told him I would come in and I would handle the front end. And basically what I do is I talk to people all day long about cars. We have a huge selection of automobiles here. At any given time, we have 200 automobiles on our property. And they range in age from the 19 teens all the way through brand new cars.